So I think we can start. Hey, brothers and sisters from the StarkNet family. This is Nurstar from the Star Galaxy. I am very proud to welcome you to another amazing episode of Shill Me Your Fundamentals, the promotional and marketing driven show on the StarkNet ecosystem. Today, we're going to have a very special episode as we have the luck to host the guys from Newton, which is an educational and Stack Overflow, a StarkNet version of Stack Overflow, and they're one of my favorite educational projects in the space. So let's welcome Victor and Alex. Hey guys, thanks for being here.
Hello, thanks for
Yes,
hosting
hi,
the
hi
show.
everyone.
Hey guys, hey. So let me start straight to some of the questions that I have today. But first of all, I would like to know like something more about your background. You are both very young, and I would also like to know how and why the idea behind Newton was born. So tell me a bit about yourself, your backgrounds, and about the idea behind Newton.
So I'm Victor. I'm the founder of Newton originally. So I'm a self-taught hacker. So I learned everything with Stack Overflow and Google, and then I built like a series of apps for about 3 years. In 2021, late 2021, I joined like an engineer residency in Miami, kind of like a accelerator program for engineers, and that's kind of like where I started like to dive deep into crypto. And I don't know, like something clicked around like the fact that what you can do with game theory and tokens. I thought it was like kind of like magic. And so the idea of like a decentralized Stack Overflow with token incentives kind of became obvious to me, and I could not stop thinking about it. So I started working on it, and I just like fundraised a bit later after this. And Alex like joined in April this year, but I'll let him like introduce himself.
Yeah, so I graduated quite good computer science school and did some research in AI and some, knowledge structuring startups as a CTO and as a software engineer. So I also have a big passion in organizing communities. And one of my mission was also to help other developers to start their career. That's why I hosted different hackathons all across Eastern Europe. I think I organized over like 40 different hackathons, and yeah, I understood that just bringing good knowledge to the community is a crucial thing. That's why I joined Newton in the beginning of this year, and right now we are trying hard to make the best place for Cairo developers where they can ask and answer questions.
Very good, guys. Thanks a lot. Your backgrounds are very interesting and inspirational. And well, the thing that struck me immediately about Newton, was this kind of the fact that you are developing this concept, which we could call like teach slash learn to earn. Okay, something like that. And I'm really fascinated by such concept. Although it's a fluid concept, you're working on it, so we develop a lot from now on. And but I would like to know more in details how Newton, how this Stack Overflow for the Cairo programming language and for StackNet works. How does it work in details?
So basically, there is like two main aspects. The decentralized aspect, which is trying to make work with bots. So we get content from Discord or Telegram. We have a bot now in Telegram Cairo Gang that like gets answers for you. And so having this idea that you don't need like one central place of the internet where all the content is accessible, but you can be across platform is I think important and interesting. And the second is like what you described, like the learn to earn. I think more than like a general learn to earn, even though like our reputation system that we're gonna launch next this week or the next is gonna be based on a token that you'll win progressively every time you do something. I mean this the main thing is like you can put bounties on questions, and it's not so much I think about like a learn to earn, that it's a way for you to incentivize speed and quality for people, because so far like you cannot like it's kind of up to what people want, like or can do. Like, there's no way for you to incentivize and really motivate people. And with bounties on question, you become free to just get um, the quality and the speed you want. And I think this is cool and different from what you can have as a level of quality and speed up till now. That does that make
I
sense? Or
see. Yeah,
and
it
then
makes sense now. It's more clear
more
to me. Uh,
more practically, I mean,
uh,
it's like right now, like we just aim to be like the one place where like every crypto question is, like every technical crypto question is like this is kind of like the more like short term plan, but like uh, the incentive thing is like a very long term thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Alex, would you like to add something on it?
Yeah, so I think like many devs who will listen to this podcast, they face the same problem. In blockchain, you need to ask questions about crypto and how to implement contracts and many other questions. So what you do, you go on Discord, you go on Telegram, you go to some very specific related group chats, and it shouldn't be like that. So we try to just make some knowledge aggregation, just at least to make it helpful for us to navigate through different places where people ask and answer questions about starknet. So yeah, I think it's sort of like a, I think later on we will think about more like a single place where we just gather all questions together and all answers, and we can be just a good place to make the knowledge more accessible.
Well understood. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And right now, I would also like to ask you for a question that obviously Victor has partially already answered to it, saying that we can't frame Newton into a concept like teach slash learn to earn, but it's something more sophisticated. And but in general, I would like to know how are you going to tell the real students slash teachers, the guys who post and answer questions in a sustainable and honest way from the bots and the malicious actors that we just want to farm the rewards, the bounties.
So I think like first of all, it's not that much about like bots versus human. Not that we see like ChatGPT. I mean, if ChatGPT gives like answers that are like 10 times better than some people, it's it's better content,
That's
right?
true.
So it's more about like is the content good, and there it's kind of like a system of proof of stake in general. So in the short term, we like moderating ourselves because it's easier and also but eventually you want to go more decentralized, and the way you secure like truths in crypto is with proof of stake. So it can apply in different things. So for bounties specifically for us, you'll have a network of validators that will like vote on which answer is the best, and that's the answer that will get like the rewards. And you can also use that for moderating like bad content and remove bad actors. So that in a sense, like bots that like just spamming will just like lose token or not win any because of this.
I see. Absolutely. Um, Alex, would you like to add something to this, or should we go to the next question?
Yeah, I think I would add here that abusing the system is what can make us happy too, because for real, if you uh, want to um, you want to make some bad things on the platform, means the platform itself fulfills some needs of you, like, and there is some demand for good content as well. So one of the real indicator that we have some malicious actors, that we also have lots of great real people who also ask and answer questions. And I think that's a good product market fit in the long term. Regarding how we acquire more people, I think it's also a good topic. I think there are just incentivizing people will help. And I think what's Victor mentioned, the proof of stake for determine like is the content bad or not, like in a true democratic way where people can vote, and these votes also have some risk that if they betray the system, so they can lose their rewards. I think
I
it's
see.
true new internet how all things will work there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, so basically, as far as the product is a good product, as far as Newton is a good, Stack Overflow, they won't be to worry too much about malicious actors, and they will be pretty easy to spot as well, I guess. And after that, I would like to ask you. Where I mean, even though Newton is very Cairo and StarkNet oriented, for the time being, if I'm not wrong, Newton testnet is not on the StarkNet testnet, but
Yes.
on the Ethereum testnet, right?
Yeah, so
And so,
the reason for
yeah,
that, I'm going to enter this, Adori. The reason for that is that I wrote the contracts and I knew Solidity well, but I was like kind of a noob in Cairo. So I wrote in Solidity much faster, with the knowledge that with Cairo 1.0 we'd had to redo everything. So the plan was like we started with just like simple like Solidity contract, and now and the next version we do with Cairo 1.0. And but eventually, because we also plan, we don't plan to like stay forever on StarkNet. I mean, if you think about it from just a platform standpoint, like there is like 500 devs that are active on StarkNet, and like the rules of the internet is that about 1% of people really are really active creating content. So if we just stayed on StarkNet, that means we'd have like 5 users, like long term, that are very active contributors. So we need to expand to other people, and the whole crypto ecosystem needs help, and it's like a general place. So we also keep this contract later for like applications elsewhere. But the next version of K 1.0 is already like being implemented, and we'll launch them to mainnet as soon as it is. Hello?
Yeah, I think you mentioned everything correct. So
Mr. Hello? Can you hear
yeah, yeah.
us?
Sorry, guys. I was speaking and I had the mic off. The mic off. Sorry. I was saying, yeah, it's very good to know that you are also planning to launch on different scaling solutions. And in my own view, that will also be helpful in order to create, a network of different developers, and they can interact between each other. And maybe, a developer who's not in StarkNet, maybe it will came into StarkNet by seeing some questions on Newton, so we'll become more, diversified, and it will be working on different scaling solutions, and this will create, a kind of motion where many developers will be able to work on many different scaling solutions, and that will improve the quality of all the scaling solutions and the quantity of all the scaling solution. So that's pretty positive in my own view. And
Yeah, and
re-
just wanna say here also, I'm a big fan of StarkNet. Like it's my favorite layer two. I think it's the best tech. It's really cool and stuff. But I also think it's very important to be open and to be open to other ecosystem, and to go away from this, to leave this tribal mentality of like, oh, I'm part of this chain, I hate the other ones, or they're we all like fighting against each other. I think like interoperability is a very important concept, and just having a lot of different ecosystem is very healthy. That's the way you create scale and quality. Like monopolies are bad. It's like, and so the tendency when you are like really involved in an ecosystem is to become a maxi, and I don't think being a maxi is good. I think it's very bad for like for progress in general, and
I,
so it's more about like how do we get 1 billion people on chain. I think it's not about like which chain wins, and so this is a really important point to stress and to reemphasize all the time. because natural human tendency is to become very tribal.
That's true. In fact, I mean, especially from the point of view of developers, what you say makes a lot of sense, because you can also learn a lot by deploying contracts on different chains. For example, for me, I'm not a maximalist or StarkNet maximalist. I mean, I still use and I experiment a lot with other scaling solutions as well in terms of you as a user, and investor. But as a content creator, I decided, to specialize myself only on one scaling solution. So I wanted to choose, but this doesn't mean that obviously I'm not, you know, I remain open-minded, towards the other scaling solutions as well. And I, I deal with them as well as a user, but as a content creator, it would be crazy for me
Yeah,
to
same for
focus
us.
as I
Same for
focus.
us.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
same
yeah.
for us. So like we're just on StarkNet right now. Like I mean, we're just like doing StarkNet content. Same for us.
That-
I understand completely.
uh, I see. And what else? Yeah, I would like seeing that you both very young and talented. I would like to know what's your strategy to attract young developers like you, and apart from the rewards, which arguments do you use to persuade devs into learning the Cairo programming language, and also in general beyond Newton, in your own opinion, being a young talented developer, what do we need in order to attract young developers to the StarkNet ecosystem?
So I'll start. So I think one of the most important part here is just to make good content for the community. So that's why we partner with different projects on StarkNet, for example, with Kakarot, with some general topics. So we invite some speakers to talk about account abstraction. Later on, we also want to support Cairo 1.0 and so on. And the idea is very simple. So we have more content, we like more people are aware of StarkNet, and more people will join StarkNet because if the ecosystem itself is good, so the last part is to make more awareness about it, and we are basically help with that stuff. And yeah, regarding the young developers, I think it's not only about the young developers but more from who are the developers. And I think Cairo itself is a strong and powerful language, and many people who use Solidity or any other similar languages, you have to see what you can do in Cairo and StarkNet, because it's so far the best layer 2 with zero knowledge, and so far it's much better than optimistic rollups. And there are more other advantages like uniqueness and powerful implementation of the perform like the language itself is high performed. So it overpower other EVM chains, and also it's very common because the Cairo, like the prototype of Cairo, was written on Python, and now it looks a bit more like Rust. So anyways, it's very easy to understand it, and just some good concepts allow to make it just strong and good. And overall, like, if you see all of these advantages as a young developer, you join the community just because it's really cool to be a part of it, and we just help with some good content.
Inspiring. Yeah, yeah, very cool. And well, I've actually already run out of questions, but we can speak a bit about your future plans. What's your, I mean, are you working on something specifically? I saw that you posted the first, questions about the Kakarot GK EVM. What's your view on that? And I mean, what are you experimenting with? What are you planning to launch in the near future?
So I can maybe talk a bit about the roadmap for Q1 2023. So basically, we have like four focus. The main focus is just to to expand to as many like projects on StarkNet and outside of StarkNet, and have like their technical FAQs, and have a lot of content like about them, answer questions that any devs that would build on top of those projects would have, and that's like the number one thing. And for this, we need to we have a new UI that we're gonna launch. We have like some more features, so it's like kind of like on the same level as on Stack Overflow. There are integrations to do. The second thing we want to do is to really like try to build more with the community and try to make like integrations like using dwork. I don't know if you're familiar with dwork. It's like Trello with for DAOs, and use like work with contributors from the community to to build like the Newton integrations. And then like we have like two other projects, which are one is to make an extension so that you can put bounties on on Stack Overflow or on any other regular websites, but mostly like Stack Overflow first, just like from a browser extension. And the last thing is to to integrate ChatGPT into our bots and systems so that there is like natural language bot answers that are like very high quality. And I think this is going to improve a lot the UX, but so just like a first step in the future for that direction.
That's great. Would you like to add something, Alex?
I mean, if you want to expand also, we can go dive deeper in each area, but
I've
Yeah, so I mean the good trend that we just make some good content. For example, like we invited some pioneers to talk about questions about account abstraction. Then suddenly people start asking more. What is it? How to use it with StarkNet? What is the layer two solutions in account abstraction? Is there any alternative wallets and so on?
I see.
Yes, sorry, I was cut
Uh,
off.
yeah, go on, go on. Don't worry.
Yeah, so the main idea here itself is that if if we do some small amount of questions about the concept or the project, in general it brings more attention to the community. So for example, with the Kakarot, people start asking questions about it, and it's great. That means people are building really solid stuff. And yeah, for example, I dreamed to find a website where a collection of good questions and mini articles about anything regarding StarkNet. Right now, people start asking me, "Hey, I'm new to Cairo. What can I start learning?" And then finally, as I ask them, like, "Have you tried Newton?" And then I also Google on Newton, and then hey, I found the answer there, and that makes me really happy. So the real idea is very simple. We just want to make knowledge more accessible. We don't want that only 10 OGs from Starkware know how to implement Car 1.0 contracts, but we want that everyone can do that. And that is very exciting part of the job. So I hope we will succeed in that. But yeah, the time will show.
That's great. We could
yeah,
say, that you want to make devs happy, right?
yeah,
That could be your
exactly.
slogan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or get like answers for devs. I mean, like just like if you think like just in one sentence, any technical question that you could have about Caro or StackNet projects first, and like the rest of crypto then, any question like this, it should be on Newton. So like our mission is just to like get all those questions on Newton, whatever the way, and then you can just like find answers to your question. All the rest is like details, like using bounties to get more content or more speed, using like AI like GPT to like make the content easier, more accessible. Using integrations is to same things to get more answers. Just it's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. Just like getting answers to questions as much as possible for every technical questions on StockNet and the rest of crypto.
Well understood. Yeah, that's very cool. And I mean, also it's an easy concept, and yeah, I really like it. So I think we're going towards the end of the episode, and it's been an amazing one. I don't know if there are many listeners live, but I don't know, Hugo, would you like to ask for some question and you will win the NFT I prepared for the occasion, the celebration on NFT of the episode. Otherwise, I will
As always,
send it
I'll
to
ask a
you. And
question to win the NFT.
okay, okay, okay. Then I ask it. Yeah, yeah.
No, no, I mean
Because
Hugo, if Hugo wants to ask a question.
I don't know. Because I invited him to. I granted him the permission to speak a couple of minutes ago, but he's not accepted it yet. So maybe he doesn't. He can't ask for a
So
question.
I want to ask you a question then, no start. Who do
Okay,
you
tell me,
think?
tell me.
Yeah, yeah. Two questions. Like, who do you? What do you think are the projects on StarkNet we should support technical questions of the soonest? Besides Kakarot and just like Cairo, just
Okay,
like StarkNet, Cairo. And the
I
second
would
question
say,
is
yeah.
same
Sorry.
thing but outside of StarkNet. Who would you want to get technical answers to, or do you think we should get technical answers for outside of StarkNet
Okay.
after this, once we're done with StarkNet?
Okay, regarding StarkNet, I would say wallets, like Argentex and Bravos, because it's also it's a very crucial tool for both developers and users as well. So everybody has to deal with wallets, no matter your field, no matter you are a DeFi project or an NFT project, you will always need to deal and work with wallets implementation and integration. So I think you could create. I think maybe you already created contents on that, but yeah, maybe it's a field that is very crucial and essential for both developers and users. And regarding outside of Starknet, I would say also the implementation uh, products such as Aave that is also coming to StarkNet. So maybe you could start covering these, uh, uh, these important and famous projects, this kind of ancestral project for DeFi, because they've been in DeFi since day one. They are DeFi, they invented DeFi. So as soon as they move into StarkNet, like Have and Maker, for example, they are also Maker. If I remember well, they're planning to move um, to StarkNet and to mint DAI on StarkNet. So having some questions and some educational contents for devs about the integration, how to integrate their these primitives from these very important their projects with a lot of liquidity. They can bring a lot of liquidity into StarkNet, so it would be amazing to have some contents about them. What do you think?
Yeah, good idea. Thanks. I think it makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah. So
Good.
Argentex, Bravos, technical FAQ, and then yeah, it makes sense.
That's great. Cool. And so I think Ugo didn't want to ask for any questions. So Victor has won the celebration of NFT of the episode. And
Yes.
so congratulations. That's great. So guys, thanks a lot for coming. I had an amazing time speaking and chatting with you. And I would also like to ask to thank the audience, both the one that was live and the listeners who will listen to this episode later or on YouTube, as I will upload it on YouTube in the coming weeks. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming. It's been an amazing experience, and see you on the next episode. Thanks, Victor. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, no star.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, dear listeners. If you have any questions, just feel free also to leave a message. I think Nurstar, you will also post the contacts in the YouTube video, and feel free to ask any questions regarding blockchain development, Cairo, StarkNet, and so on. Like I will help.
Absolutely. Feel free, guys, to do so. And if you need some, intermediary to put you through the guys, through Victor and Alex, just do not hesitate to contact me. Okay. So, guys, thanks a lot and see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.